This is the Fifine Tank 3 microphone, and what's cool about it is it's both USB and XLR. Let's see how it sounds. Fifine has come a long way, if you ask me, because in the early days of this YouTube channel, it's one of the first microphones that I reviewed. Cheap little $30, $40 microphone, and that review has done well. And that microphone back then honestly sounded way better than it should have for the money that it cost. And to see them grow past the condenser microphone, the thing, and the USB only thing into slightly more professional style, but still content creator and budget friendly and streamer friendly microphones has been really awesome to see. And so when they reached out to offer a microphone for review, I decided to check it out. So this is the Fifine Tank 3. Like I mentioned, it's a dynamic, it's USB and XLR, solid metal. That's probably why they call it the Tank 3. They say it's like tank built, all that. So we're going to talk about this microphone, all thoughts on my own. So let's plug it in and get going. But first, we're going to run it over USB and see how it sounds that way before we move on to testing it over XLR.
Welcome back. If you're new around here, my name is Chris. This is Coalition Gaming, and I like to teach you guys about repairing, setting up, and streaming from your PC. If you're into that sort of thing, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our videos. And so here we are with the Fifine Amplitank Tank 3, or just a Tank 3. In my stream setup, I'm testing a webcam out here, but I'm also testing this microphone out here, and it's over USB right now, so it's actually kind of nice that you can control the mic volume on the knob right here, but you can also control volume in the headset if you're using the your headphones through the no latency monitoring port that's on it. It also has a light up mute button. And now I'm back. So yeah, it changes red when it's muted, green when it's not muted. So here we are with the Fifine Tank 3 microphone at my desk set up through my AverMedia Nexus mixer over XLR. And now the downside to going over XLR with a combo mic like this is you lose the functionality of the knobs. These now do nothing. And just rubbing those knobs now though, help me hear for something. I'm monitoring in my headphones right now. It does pick up a lot of handling noise. Bit of a downer, but you're not going to be touching the knobs if you're using it over XLR. And because it doesn't come with a stand, you're going to have it on an arm. So half the time you're not even going to be touching the microphone anyways. Not even half the time, almost all of the time. The only time that you might hear me have handling noise through my microphone is when I move my arm out of the way like this. And honestly, I don't think that's that big of a deal. Some people really like to fiddle with their arms, their microphone arms and stuff as they use their microphones. And in that case, this is probably not going to be the greatest. So handling noise is a little thumbs down for me, but I don't place a lot of weight on handling noise for the way that I use my microphones, but that's just me. Now, there's no EQ on the mic right now. So what you're hearing is how it sounds, no noise gate, just raw pretty much. No EQ, no nothing. But if I turn a few things on, a little bit of EQ and a little bit of noise gate, it really cleans up the sound. Right now, it is a bit sensitive for a dynamic microphone, and you can hear a little bit of white noise behind me or just picking up noises from elsewhere on the desk, me tapping here and there, touching a plastic bag. It gets a little more than I thought it would for a dynamic, but let's turn on some stuff and see how it sounds. And now we're back with the equalizer turned on and the noise gate turned on. And the equalizer I like to use kind of looks like a V-shaped equalizer, scooped out a little bit, especially since this microphone has very similar characteristics to my other one, where it's got really high mids that I have to pull back. And a little bit of that EQ really changes the sound of the microphone, brings out some of the bass, really gives it some color, I guess you could say. Now, the noise gate that I added through my AverMedia Creator Central software also cleans up the sort of white noise and rejection, like helps with that. But realistically, what it's actually helping with is that when I stop talking, it comes down to the point where you can't hear any background noise if there's any silence. Watch. No more white noise. And then when I talk, it just picks me right back up. It's great. It just goes to show you that tuning your microphone goes a long way when you want a little bit more performance out of it, especially when you want just better sound, better noise rejection, quieter background noise, all sorts of stuff. Video broadcast can definitely help with this, but if you have a more advanced XLR mixer that has more tools to help you with all that, it's better to just go through that instead of adding another layer of software to your chain, because that's never good. It can be helpful, sure, but then it's another thing to worry about. So it's one of the reasons I like the AverMedia Nexus,
but other mixers do this too. I have to say though that I actually really do like the sound that it has when it's got a little bit of EQ on it, but I feel like it's picking up a little bit of a echo or sort of a reverb within it. I'm not quite sure if it's coming through to you guys, but yeah, it's there's something else going on here that's a little off-putting, but for the most part, it sounds pretty good. This is how it sounds right on top of the microphone. No noise gate, just EQ. This is how it sounds further back from the microphone. This is how it sounds all the way to the back of my room. I'm about 8 feet away from the microphone right now. And we're back. Plosive tests, PEMDAS, please, deliver, pizza, pronto, podcastage is awesome. Honestly, I think it does pretty good with the plosive rejection. Actually, it's not too bad. It's not perfect. I think it could still use a bit of a plosive. Why can't I think of the name of it? Pop filter. Yes, pop filter. You could definitely use a pop filter. But whatever. It sounds pretty good without it too. Quick comparison real quick with this microphone with its noise gate and EQ turned on to my AverMedia AM330 microphone. And now here we are on the AverMedia Live Streamer Mic 330, and this is how it sounds. Honestly, I don't think it sounds all that different, but that little bit of sort of, I don't know, maybe echo or vibration that the Fifine was picking up isn't present here. It also helps that I have this one on a shock mount. I have a video that goes over the importance of a shock mount because originally when I switched to this microphone, I had problems with it picking up vibrations, and eventually a shock mount is what ended up solving my issues. So make sure you check that out. It'll be linked right up here and at the end of the video and the description below. Shock mounts are important. I mean, some microphones might say they're internally shock mounted and they have features and stuff to deal with that. But in the end, I'd still say get a shock mount if you can, because an external shock mount is always going to help no matter what. I do believe that Fifine considers this their flagship microphone, and at $90, it has the best of both worlds with XLR and USB functionality, but the tuning that it needs is a lot easier done in an XLR versus USB. If you're going to tune it over USB, you're going to need additional software like SteelSeries Sonar, which can actually be pretty easy to tune, and software that if you're a USB microphone user, you might want to have anyways, especially if you're going to be streaming, because it's basically the wavelength of the free audio tool world in the sense that it's gotten so much better, and you can use it to tune your microphone for all sources: Discord, OBS, any calls, any software. It'll work using it that way. You have control over virtual audio inputs and outputs, and then even submixes from what I've heard recently with the updates to SteelSeries Sonar. Didn't used to have submixes. I do believe it has it now. So at $90, this being Fifine's flagship, I think it's a pretty good value, especially if you don't have some of the little off-putting noise that I seem to be hearing that I'm not entirely sure is coming through or is even a bother to anyone. It's a pretty neutral sounding microphone. It does need the tuning to get the most out of it, which honestly, every single microphone that I've used for the most part needs a little bit of tuning to sound great. Some have sounded really good straight out of the box. And actually the last one that I tested was not the last one, but the last one that I tested that I feel sounded really great out of the box was a Fifine microphone. It was the K658, I believe, just a USB dynamic mic with a little RGB ring on it. And since then, they've moved on to the USB XLR combo microphones. They have other choices. And if you wanted to pick between any of them, honestly, I feel like they're all pretty good. But if you needed a stand, this isn't the one for you. If you're going to be putting it on an arm, awesome, you're set. It's ready to go out of the box. At its price point, it does compete with microphones like the AverMedia AM330, which is my primary microphone. And it also competes with stuff like the Rode PodMic. So it's competing with some serious heavy hitters, but the Rode PodMic is only XLR, and the USB version of it costs more than this one does. So take that as you will. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think this microphone sounds like. Do you think it's a good value? Do you think it sounds good, especially with a little bit of EQ thrown on it? Let me know. Let's talk about it. If you like this video, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button and that bell so you don't miss a single upload. Also, I stream to Twitch every Friday at 8 p.m. Pacific at twitch.tv/CoalitionChris. So feel free to stop by, drop a follow, and let's talk tech. Streaming tech, PC gaming tech, any tech. Cell phones? Cell phones I'm pretty good with too. Anyways, that does it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.